Ernest Shackleton's ship has more than lived up to her name. After 107 years at the bottom of the ocean off Antarctica, Endurance has been found. The right way up, largely intact, rust and rot held at bay by the freezing ocean in which she's rested for so long.
When the expedition discovered it, it was like a miracle. We could not believe the state of the ship. The wood, there are no wood-eating microorganisms, no little animals that feed on wood like there are elsewhere in the world's oceans. It's too cold.
What damage there is to Endurance was largely caused by the ice in which she became trapped, crushing her hull and toppling her masts, and ending all hope of reaching Antarctica. Endurance set sail for the continent from South Georgia on the 5th of December 1914. She became trapped in pack ice about 6 weeks later. By November, the crew had to abandon the ship and she sank below the ice. The wreck has now been found about 4 miles away from the position originally recorded by the ship's captain. But more remarkable is the escape that followed. Shackleton and his men had no choice but to camp on the ice for 5 months until finally reaching Elephant Island in lifeboats. It's from there that Shackleton and 5 of his men made a 16-day journey to South Georgia to secure a rescue. And the lifeboat they modified to make that journey in survives to this day, donated to Shackleton's old school, Dulwich College in London. This is the tiny lifeboat from the deck of Endurance herself that Shackleton used to sail nearly 800 miles across the Southern Ocean, some of the most notorious sea in the world, waves as high as these masts, all the way to South Georgia. It was a feat of navigation and survival that allowed him to save all 27 members of his expedition.
Not even Shackleton himself knew they were actually going to survive this. They had to do it. They had to go out and try it. There was no hope of them being rescued. They were about 1,000 miles away from the next humans.
Not only did the expedition crew survive, but more than 100 photographic glass plates made it back too. After the loss of Endurance, Shackleton had to secure his future as an explorer.
Shackleton knew that this is one way he'd make the money back. He also knew it was part of the legacy if nothing happened. So even before thinking of the money, he knew when we came back, this tells the story because my actual expedition has failed.
These images, and the lifeboat of course, were thought to be the only major artefacts from Shackleton's heroic tale of survival to have survived intact. Until today, that is. Tom Clark, Sky News.